Hi everyone, I'm Heggy Gonzalez and I'm here to show you some fun techniques on curling hair, especially when you have super long Rapunzel hair. So I already prepped the hair. We kind of are going for a 70s vibe, and I've actually been curling this hair since 1970. That's how long it took. Really fun idea when I'm like, here, let's do a curl tutorial on super long hair. So this is Rapunzel, aka Julia. So what I did first is I prepped her hair. I prepped her hair for curling, first using a little bit of Fimollient to give it a little bit of hold, and then most importantly, I used the damage control. This is going to help Aveda Brilliant Damage Control. It's going to help protect the hair from the heat and really preserve everything when you're working through that hair. Now, when you have someone with super long hair, there's a few different ways how you can curl it, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit, and then we will finish out this set today and kind of show you some fun 1970s style. We are shooting in my house, my casa. Over here you have my assistant Charlie, if you can kind of see him in the background. He's very, very useful, okay? And then you have my lovely niece Julia, who agreed to be my model for today. So I'm going to turn around and talk about the different ways that we can curl the hair. So first things first, I want to show you a little bit of curl with foil. Yes, aluminum foil. As hairstylists or even anybody at home, you should be able to have some. Now, the great thing about curling with aluminum foil is it allows you to give a little bit more of a set curl in the hair, especially if you don't necessarily have the size of curling iron that you need. So what we're going to do first is we are going to take a piece of hair and we're going to go through, and I'm just going to use my fingers. Now, depending on how big you want that curl to be, you can use 3 fingers, 2 fingers, and I'm just going to wrap that around my fingers, okay? And what I want to do is I'm going to use just a little bit of control force to spray those ends. Don't do too much, just enough to help hold that hair together. The next thing that we're going to do is grab some foil. Should have had that a little bit closer, but just some regular aluminum foil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that foil and I'm going to wrap it around the hair. So I want to keep the pin curl that I've created in shape, and then I'm just going to fold that over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch in between where the hole of that pin curl was, and then just take that and fold it over, and then take the next section and fold it over. So what that's going to do is it's going to create a nice little cocoon. And then I'm going to grab my flat iron that is stuck on something, okay? I'm going to grab my flat iron and I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds, not rubbing it, just pressing it. Now, if I'm going to do this around the face, I want to make sure that when I do set it down, it does get hot, that it's not sitting directly on the face. So once I've done with that, I'm just going to let that cool down. Another way that we can use a flat iron to curl is, number 1, do not have it tangled on stuff because it makes it a little bit easier. So the next thing is that when you are dealing with super long hair, you want to make sure that your subsections that you're taking are not too big. Now, the heat of your flat iron will vary depending on the texture, the porosity, and the healthiness of your guest hair or your own hair. So, I don't know why I said that super high, but the more chemically treated your hair or blonder your hair is, the less the volume of heat you want it to be on. The coarser, thicker the hair, the higher the volume you want. So Julia has really healthy hair, so we're using a medium to medium high. Now I have a slightly smaller subsection. I want to take this and I want to wrap it around a full time and then just continue to work it down, working slowly and continuing to twist that iron as I go. I don't want to work too fast because I do not want to over curl the hair or get some sections where it doesn't curl as nicely. So now we have a really nice curl through here, and if we have some ends that are a little bit buggy, we can just take that curling iron or flat iron, aka that's what this is, and curl those in. If we also too want it to be a little bit straighter, as kids are doing these days, then we can just straighten that out. So if we work nice and slow, we're going to get a nice solid curl for this. So this technique is going to work great for someone who maybe has difficult to curl hair, or someone who wants a little bit more longevity in their curl versus using your just traditional curling iron. So I curled Julia's hair mostly with the curling iron, but and then I did a hard set on some of these front portions. I do want to go through and curl this front section using my flat iron. Now again, make sure that your subsection's not too big. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to take a section, and what I want to do is I want it to flip away from the face. So I'm just going to go in, take smaller subsections, just work slowly, work it out, twist that iron, work slowly down the hair. As I get to those ends, continue to twist, and then twist that in. Now, if I don't get enough curl that I want, what you can always do is, again, do the flat iron technique, but this time you don't necessarily need your foil. You can just take the flat iron, curl this up, and then just hit that with your flat iron. Now, the benefits and the difference of the two is that the foil is going to cool completely, the curl is going to cool completely in that foil, so it's going to be a little bit of a stronger curl. This is just going to help enhance that curl just a little bit. And what I like to do is hold that just for a second until it cools down just a little bit, or you can go in and hard set it. So what a hard set is simply where after you curl it, you take it and keep it in place, much like this. Now you can use pin curl clips, or you can use regular bobby pins, hair pins. I'm just going to use a duckbill clip here. I do like to sometimes set using these no crease clips because then they don't cause any creases in the hair. So the other way that you can curl the hair is just by using your traditional curling iron. Just keep in mind that the longer the hair is, the less curl that sometimes you're going to have at this top area. So when doing that, again, make sure, key tip, make sure that your curling iron does not get stuck on your table that you have it on. It's just, little pro tip. Heggy's Hacks, pro tip from Heggy, okay? So what I'm going to do is I started with working at the base first and really holding that through that top area, and then just working slowly all the way down. So I'm using this much like I would a Marcel iron. Coming through, and setting it. So again, if you have hair that's hard to curl or doesn't have longevity in curl, a hard set is really beneficial because it allows that hair to cool down in the area that you've done it. So then that way you can get a little bit more of a consistent curl, and it's going to last a little bit longer. So especially great for those styles that maybe you're doing for a wedding or for a prom or for a Tuesday night, aka tonight. All right, so I'm just going to take this, I'm going to hold it and set it while it lightly burns my fingers. It's okay. All right, so once I've done that, now I'm going to turn her around a little bit, and I want to show you some of the results of the foil. So this one I did earlier, so it's been sitting for a while. So we're just going to take that out, and you can see that beautiful curl that you get from using the foil. Okay, and I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're going, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Okay, throw that there. All right, and then this one, it's still a little bit cool, a little bit warm, but I'm just going to go ahead and take that out as well. And again, another result of a great curl. So this is, again, a great option that you can utilize if maybe you don't have the right size curling iron that you need, or if you want those curls to last a little bit longer. Now, when I'm looking at curls, it's really important as I'm doing it to kind of see how this curl is going to last, how is it going when I go through, when I break my fingers through it, and also to always ask your guest, or even if you're doing this on yourself, you know how your hair curls. Just throwing stuff. Okay, I'll pick it up later. Actually, I'll make Julia do it. If you want this hair to be a little bit more soft and free, what you're going to do is you're going to have your model flip her head up and flip her head back. But I'm going to get out of the way because she's got a lot of hair. So now I'm really liking the way it's looking, but a few little things that drive you nuts when you're doing your hair. So number one, a few little frizzes on the top. So I'm going to tell you a few little tricks that I have. Number one, a little bit of Framboya. The smallest bit of a pump, you want it really small, and I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to lightly place that on dry hair down through those top areas, and I'm going to use a little bit on those areas where she is a little bit of, has a little bit of those frizzes or new growth, and then I'm going to use the remainder to fix mine. Okay, so you want to let that dry in that area. It also helps if she has any little teeny baby hairs. Another thing that I really like to do if I want to add some shine is I'll use that same kabuki brush, spray a little bit of my spray on shine, and I'll just dust that on the areas where I want a little bit more shine. I sometimes find that if you want the curl to have a little bit more longevity, you want to stick to grip products in the hair. So if you add too much slip products, sometimes that can make the curl fall. So it's a great way that you can just add a little bit of shine without worrying about adding too much slip to the hair. Okay, so at this point, I'm happy with the style. I think that she looks great. I'm actually really proud of myself right about now. And what I'm going to do is end with a finishing touch. So we're just going to come in with my favorite raspberry tea. And we have completed our fun 70s curl utilizing things like our flat iron, regular curling iron, and of course a little bit of foil.